Altoid kits. They could be sub kits or miniature survival kits. They could pretty much fill in the role for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. Um, Over the years, I've made many Altoid kits in various sizes. They do have the Altoid smalls. This is going to be the standard size Altoids container. I have a small list of items that just for the new person that's trying to figure out what they could put in these. A lot of this is common sense, and a lot of it's just trial and error for you to fit your needs. But just as a recommendation, since I've gone through the process so many times over the years, I will have to admit, though, that I stopped using Altoid kits. I have lots of reasons, but mainly because I don't like the rigidness of the container. Some people say that that's the bonus. That's the whole reason that they even would carry it, because it protects the goods inside a hard case. I agree with that to some degree if that's what you need. This is what I've gone to. I've shown this before, but I really like this a little bit more flexible platform that you can see in, and you can see where your stuff is and open it. And I just feel like that it's a lot more controllable. Things don't just, get disorganized and just fall out when you open one of these. Sometimes things can get a little bit crazy. Plus, you get a little more room. And what I did was, and I have a video on this, I took an SOL pocket survival pack that Doug Ritter helped design or did design with SOL, and I put some upgrades. So it's a little bit more rigid and a little more full than how it came. But what is it, 4 or 5 things extra that I put in there, maybe 6 things. It kind of rounds out the whole kit for me. So I get everything I want and need. And this is very pocketable, especially in a cargo pocket. So this is what I've gone to, but you know what? Sometimes it's preparation and woodscraft is all a process. And you don't sometimes just start at the end result. You have to work through stages to get to where you want to be. So you may be at the Altoids level now. I'm not saying you shouldn't, be at the Altoids if you are still at an Altoids. Maybe this is all you need, and this is what works for you, and this is great. And you do need that hard case to protect whatever it is. Maybe you just have a whole bunch of matches, and I would agree this would be a good way to go. With my kit, I don't carry matches. I have other fire starters, so I just don't use it. I think that a lighter or a spark light from SOL is a good way to go. A magnifying glass, a Fresnel lens, which is a little bit more challenging, but it's possible to use a fire that way. And so I still got my 3 means, but matches or other very fragile items, especially if they're very small kitchen matches. But back to what we're talking about today. Altoid survival kit. So besides having a sub kit, it could be the fire kit we were talking about, or a sub kit for maybe a first aid. An all-round survival kit would probably be made up of some of these items. Definitely not all the items are all present there. These are just some of the items that I would use and have put into my kits and continue to put in my kits. A small folding blade. I'd prefer a lockback blade, such as a K-Bar mini dozer. Band-Aids with the triple antibiotic ointments built into them. And those, those moist toilets. I believe that's how you say it. You can just wipe your face or your hands, or if you have an injured area, you can wipe it clean before you bandage it. Cording. Cording can be nylon or polyester. It could be, tarred line, such as bank line. It could be dental floss. It could be the inners of the paracord. It could be larger diameter, types of cording, like actual parachute cord without it being stripped down, or bank line, like a thicker bank line. I wouldn't put those actually on the inside. I'd probably use it on the outside and wrap the container and maybe secure it with a Ranger band or 2. That could be another option. Now, other items you might want to consider would be a lighter. I think that's just one of the easiest ways to make a fire. One of the more practical ways. You can carry your matches and your fire steel and a Fresnel lens and whatever else you want. But for me, I think a mini Bic would be the number one choice by far. You can still get hundreds of fires out of a mini Bic. A whistle, a small mirror. If you couldn't fit like a standard, like signal mirror, you could probably go with a reflective piece of metal, or just polish the inside of your tin. You could even go with a mylar blanket. Just cut off a little section of that blanket and maybe even glue it on the inside. Or you can even just get aluminum foil and actually just kind of polish that. I've seen that people use that, and it actually works okay. It's not great, but it works. A very small keychain light, one or two safety pins, maybe a few needles, some hooks, some sinkers, some small, maybe a very small pencil and a piece of paper, various types of tenders. If you're going to have fire starters, you might want to have maybe some Tender Quick, maybe some pine needles with a lot of sap on them or resin, and maybe some birch bark, whatever you use. Some wire would be good, a compass, some little bit of cash in case you need to get bailed out and you're around civilization, but you just don't have any cash for resources. Maybe you're hungry or you don't have any gas in your car and you forgot your wallet or something at home. Gorilla tape, maybe a little strip of that. You could even tape the Gorilla tape on the container if you didn't want to do it on the inside. Small Ziploc bag to, help yourself if you need to go foraging for food and you find food to put it in a bag, or maybe you find water, and you need to have a little way to store some water while you travel. So those are just some ideas. There's a lot more out there. There's definitely some pain medicines. Maybe you have prescription medicines you take. Just various things like that. You have to decide. Overall though, can you get your needs met with one of these kits? Yeah, maybe for short term, and maybe it could bail you out, and I'm sure it has in the past for lots of people. So, with that being said, I wish you luck on your kit, and if for some reason though this particular container doesn't work out for you, there are many other types, and I just wanted to make sure to say that because I was really kind of stuck on this for a long time and it just didn't work. I didn't want to carry it with me. I just didn't want to deal with them. And there's really nothing really wrong with it per se besides the rigidness and the form factor. It just didn't work in my pockets, including my cargo pockets. I mean, it fit just fine. I could get two of them in there, but it just seems like it's just too bulky. And I think I'm just into more cloth or other types of plastic pouches that they just work better for me instead of using a tin style. And I mean, I even tried the smaller like shoe polish style. That's a little better. And even the dental floss containers, that's okay, but those are even too small. So, the Altoids small container, which is a little bit smaller than this, that works better in my opinion than this. You can't get as much in there, but the form factor is a little more forgiving. With that being said, though, this particular container that I've been using in place of the Altoids, as you can see, it's actually bigger. But once again, though, there's more flexibility, and sometimes I don't have it loaded down as much. If you take maybe one or two of these little items out and maybe go for something different, you can get a little bit more flex in there, but it still has flex in it. It's really not that heavy. And so, anyways, you have to just do what you like. Sometimes it's just liking, like this one. I can see everything. I can open it up easy, and nothing will just fall out. I can go in there and pull things out and put things back in relatively easy. Not that you couldn't do that with an Altoids tin. I mean, it opens up, and you can put the things. Sometimes when I used it, things would spill out, or it'd be hard to organize and get just right to close the top, or sometimes if I was in a hurry and opened it up, like this, things would just spill out. Sometimes you're just sloppy, and if you're in a survival situation and you haven't had calories for a long time, you may be sloppy. So these are my thoughts on the Altoid tin, and thanks for watching.